Hey there, how's it going? Okay, we're going to get on to Tower Top 2, you see, there it is there. So what I'm going to do is go down here to where Tower Top 2 is, and just lament probably at this. This is not good. So I think the best thing to do is just start the culling process. Because whilst it's pretty, it's no good for anything really. There we go. Now, Control I and just delete those. There we are. And then I can go into edge mode and start rebuilding my edges. Which is never as easy as it seems first time, is it? Because I've got to rebuild there. Let's see, so bridge there. At least I've made the bridging tool a little bit easier to get to now. There we go. And then again. So you can move around now. You didn't used to be able to do that with the bridge tool. Also, you can see there's a couple of areas here that I'm going to have to fix, obviously. If you haven't seen them yet, don't worry, I will most definitely be pointing them out. Okay, that's done. And then go straight through. And just cap those. Right, now we see here that. Delete it. And there's another two here that need deleting too. There we go. And we can just start bridging these. And again here. Okay, that gives us that. Right, now what we need to do is build some faces. So 3 there. 3 there. And 3 there. No, there's only 2 space between each. So what I'm going to do is decide the best way of doing that, which will be easy enough if I use a swift loop. I'll have 1 there and 1 there, therefore. Okay, and that'll give us a nice big squarish shape. There you go, like that. Which I can then extrude in. Marvellous, isn't it? Okay, then I'm going to do a swift loop. And I'm going to have 1 here and 1 here. Like that. And this will allow me to basically do a little bit of editing with these. So for these ones, for example, what I can do is just go on the scale tool, just look at this and how it's set up, make sure my bounding box is, oh, it's not quite on, that's alright, we can do it in screen mode if we have to. It's more accurate if we move this into orthographic, however. Need to bring them all down like that. And we can do the other side as well. There we are. And then just pull them like that. Create that wider shape. I think it'd be better if we pull them in at the top to make a narrower shape, to be honest. Well, let's see if we can do that instead. So, get a perspective. Now, if you remember, one of the things that I did in the past, which I don't really like doing, is to chamfer like this. And the reason I don't like doing that is because basically it creates a mess, yeah? But we can get around that, if I just use my target weld, and just start tidying up a bit, we can like basically tidy these corners down into here and do it this way, like that, and then like this. Then just basically collapse that into there, or leave it where it was like that, you see? And that gives us that shape there, which is much tidier than the shape we had. So let's go back and redo the chamfers so that we can have fun doing that. Woohoo! I use the word fun extremely warily here. Bear in mind we could of course do it the way we did before, where we just literally take one of these big windowy fellows and then copy it multiple times. In fact, hell, why don't I just do that? So grow, delete. Okay, and that way I've just got this one here in the middle. And what I want to do is swift loop straight down like this. Maybe to there. And there. And then I can just scale this single piece here. Actually, I've got it kind of like that. Just want to scale in the middle bit though. Like that. That gives us that shape. Still coming out a bit there. Not quite flat. Eesh, eh? Eesh. Might have to do it a slightly different way then. So what I'm going to do is grab this and this. You see, it's because this isn't directly facing on, so I have to do it the harder way. Do a connect, like that. And I can go to target weld. There we go, like so. And then I can just extrude this back. Like that. And of course this shape which I have created, I can then duplicate. So if I just detach it as a clone, there we go, and making sure it's selected, and my pivot point is the same, I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees 3 times. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is select the border here, delete, and here, and here. It's a very basic way of doing this. I mean, obviously you can add in much more detail if you're that way inclined. Okay. See, that's twisted. What I'll do is I'll open up the bridge, and there's actually a twist modifier just here that I can adjust. Now then we can see that it's trying hard to get these together but failing. So let's have a look. Well, these should line up, shouldn't they? And they're not. So let's see if we can get them to do it. I'll just have to bridge them manually. Oh, I see what it is. You see there's no additional swift loops. So if I put one here, and then here, it'll now have one, and again. Okay, and I think the rest have theirs, so that's good. I wondered what I was twisting. So now we can bridge it, and it's fine. And in here, the one that I've detached, well, rather than target welding it all, let's have a look. Yep, there's a spare one. So this is all one piece as well. And that's going to make the unwrapping process a lot easier. So that's 10 minutes. Well wasted, I think. Well done. To me. Okay, so now what I need to do is start the actual unwrap process. So I'm going to select this and go to unwrap. Open my editor. Obviously, giant mess as usual. Move the giant mess out of the way. And same as before, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take basically this section here, okay, and unwrap that separately to the top section. So just marquee select, making sure I'm getting everything. You can see I'm not quite getting everything here. Just look for any non-selected bits. And cylindrical map off. And let's just boost this up and see what we can see. Well, there's a few jaggies in places, but nothing too serious, so I think what I'd like to do though is take this bit here and basically attach it over there. So tools, detach the edge verts. Well, actually just break, that'll do. See? So it's all one piece. And then I'm going to just move this to here and start attaching it together over here instead. So let's go to our target weld tool. So I need my verts, tools, target welds. And it's not too difficult. There are some parts that are overlapped, which we will see very shortly. But it's nothing really to lose any sleep over yet. Right, now it is. So what we'll do is select these parts and start moving them up. And these parts. And these parts. And then these parts. Just basically making sure that we're doing as much as we can here. Okay, that's fine. And then all the way down here to this one. Like that. Okay, now I can start filling in these holes a bit better. Back to my target weld. So for that I'm going to need to, there we go, do that. Then I can weld pieces together slightly more successfully. So look over here. And down. So much tidying up to do. You can see the overlaps there. We'll fix that in just a minute as well. Firstly though, we need to really fix up this. Nearly done. This is one of the more complicated pieces, obviously, which is why it's taking an amount of time. this one. There we go. Move that up to there as well. And this one. I'll be separating this out a little bit more in just a minute. First though, let's get these kind of moved into place a bit. Okay. That looks slightly better. Now, is there still a lip at the bottom here? I'm going to change this to polygon mode. Yes, there is. And over here where these polygons are, I think what I'll have to do is detach those for the moment. So, tools. Let's bring them over here so I can fix those separately. There's another one. Because there's 4 verts in this, believe it or not. That just doesn't look like there is. There we go. It happens sometimes, unfortunately. Now over to this one. And this one. You can see the edges change colour as they slowly get fixed, which is a good help. There we go. I think it's down here, this one isn't fixed. There we go. You can always tell where they're not actually working. Makes it much easier though, when they're all stuck together properly. Okay, now down here. Let's go in and fix these. And then down here. There, see? All now actually in one rational sized piece. So now what I can do is go into these. And let's have a look. Maybe grow my selection. There we go. Shrink my selection. There we are. Just to basically untangle these a bit. I can see some tangling on the side there, where those are. So I'm going to deal with that in a minute. This one did not go correctly there. So why is this? Let's have a look. Well, there's a separated piece just here, look. Let's see what's going on with that. Doesn't even show where it's supposed to be connecting to, it's just a dead vert in the arse end of nowhere. Oh, I see, it's the one underneath it. There we go. And that goes there. see if we can now do anything with this. Otherwise I'm going to have to manually grow it, which is not going to be fun. Yeah, I may have to manually grow this one. Move it about a bit. So I can see there's some pieces here that are basically in the wrong area. Just there, for example. So, getting nice and close. One there. One there. Once I've got them kind of in the right place, I can make them a lot more in line with the other pieces. Okay, and if I just go into vert mode, incidentally the hotkeys that work for Macs work fine for this as well. You know, in the polygon modeling bit. And I'll straighten out this edge in just a minute using the old tried and tested tool I learned from my dear old pal Oknod many years ago. So if I just get my scale tool and just scale it on the flat. There we go. It's not perfect, but it's certainly a lot better than it was. Now we can see that there's overlap happening over there, so let's see if we can fix that as well. Let's see, then if I need to go over to here. Oops, wrong one. And use the move tool. Yeah, I thought as much. There you go. That's why it was overlapping. And again, let's shrink that. We can see where the fold over is. That's just there. There doesn't appear to be much more folding over going, unless this is one. Yeah, that's one as well. So let's unfold that a bit more. And here. Like that. Now I'm going to have to bring the entire piece over a little bit like this, so that I can then basically just go straight down and shuffle this along. See, it can be a bit fiddly, but to be honest, it makes it more fun this way, I think. I certainly enjoy the challenge anyway. Go across to there, a bit further, there we go. Because then I'm going to add it to this one. Bring them both back. Marvo, isn't it? Same again here. And here. Bring it quite far across. To about there. I can even reduce these a little bit more like that. Right, now on the underside here we can see that all is not well still, so now it is. But we can also see there's some vert errors, so I go into my target weld, Control T, had it turned on already, I was just showing you that I've got target weld, and that moves to there, and there, and there we go. That fixes up at the bottom. And then just make sure there's nothing else in there. There shouldn't be. Nope, there isn't. Good. Okay, so now we can finally shrink this down in freeform mode. Maybe just stick it there. Like that. Okay, and now we have this remaining piece here, which is just basically just, you know, splat, splat. Like that. Good thing about this is that basically we can half it, which will make things a bit more helpful for us. Something I didn't do last time, but really I think I should have done. There we go, got this one, like that. Mapping, sorry, not mapping, tools, detach edge verts. Okay, and just move that to there, so it stays nice and big. Basically twice the size we could otherwise have. And then this one. Bring it in like so, and then down. Because this cheeky little chappy here is overlapping a bit. There we go. That's it. And our ordeal is at an end, more or less, except for one bit that you've probably noticed that I didn't. Didn't see that, did you? Or did you? Maybe you did. Let's bring it down a bit more. There we go. Done. Right, so I'm going to go to my mapping. Tools, not mapping, Christ. Render UVW template. Which takes all of like no time whatsoever. And save it. I'm on Tower Top 2 at the minute, so I shall call it Tower Top 2 UV unwrap. And that's done. And then I can basically close this off and have a quick look at my model so I can remember exactly where stuff is. There we are, just have a quick look at it. Right, so all these little fine cobbled together pieces here, just the sill on this ending there, so that's where the stonework's going to be. This is going to be more stonework, and more stonework. Good, eh? Alright then, over to Photoshop, get rid of this, and I'm going to load up my rooftop PSD, because it'll come in useful, and then I'm going to open my Tower Top 2, and you obviously know what I'm going to be doing here, but I'll walk you through it anyway, just in case you've completely forgotten. Wand, select the outside, Control-Shift-I, that inverts the selection. Go up to here, turn off my background for visibility. Press G to open my paint bucket tool and fill that part in. Okay, that's the first bit. Now I'm going to grab this, which is the roof, and I'm going to do a Control-Shift-J. That creates a new layer for my selection, and this will become the roof. So let me see, layer options, the roof, and then I hide it. Now I'm going to go over here to my background, put it back on and turn my opacity down to 50, because I need to be able to see what I'm doing again now. Now these parts here, to be honest, are much too bloody big, funnily enough. I should really have gone back and change my UV template, because these should, well, this is the top of the roof here, so let's grab that. There we go. And what I'm going to do is just do a Control-Shift-J, bring it up here to where the roof is, drag it above it and do a Control-E. Make sure it's visible, and that way it'll become 1. See? The roof and that. Before I do as well, I'll change the opacity back to 100 on that. Otherwise it will only have opacity 50. Okay, now we've got this bit here, which is like detailing and stuff. Is it cornicing? I don't know, it's fiddly bits, basically. So, Control-Shift-J, and we shall call this fiddly bits, because that's what they are. Okay, and then with the fiddly bits out of the way, we go back to this layer and do that, and I shall use my marquee tool to basically just trim these out. One there. And there. There. And one more. Okay, that gives us these. Control-Shift-J. And these become the insets. And then from the inset areas we can create the windows. So if we use the wand tool in this, obviously it's going to try and select all of it. Well, hooray. Let's get a background. Because we just need these bits. Okay, and selection, modify, I don't know, can expand by 2. See, they just become one piece then. And then selection, modify, contract by 1. That was pretty easy, wasn't it? If we go to our inset areas here, Control-Shift-J, they'll become our windows. Or whatever it is they're supposed to be. Pictures of bells, Mr. Ben waving, I don't know. You decide. Okay then, so now we can basically go here, where our background is. Make sure everything else is turned on. Turn our opacity back on for all the bits that don't have opacity particularly high. Like that. Turn our background off for the moment. And I'm going to start by loading in greystone. Don't want greystone? No. Wall brick. So Control-C. Drop it into this. And stick it in my layer 1 area. It's just here. I'm going to try and get it so that the top of that brick basically lines up with the top of these. Then it'll look a bit like lintling, which is fine because it means that we don't have to fart around like we did last time. There we go, Control-E just to put the two parts together, and then make a clipping mask. Nice and easy, don't need any more brick areas on this. So, well, I might do it at the bottom actually. Let's have a look at the background here. Actually, I think these two bits here also need to be concrete, so typical. I'll just cut them off this then. Go here, Control-Shift-J. This will become the bottom part. So make sure this is still my clipping mask. There we go, and turn that to visible. For this layer here, I'm going to rename it Bottom Detail. And for there, I'm going to use probably some greystone. So make sure I've got it copied. And then Control-V, let's put it here, Control-V, put the next one there, and there, it overlaps nicely, so just collapse it, and then clip, there we go, that's that bit. Now for the insert areas, I'm doing the same again, so and I'm going to, let me see, just do a clipping mask like that. No, I'm not. I've stuck them on the wrong bit, haven't I? Where's my... That's not them, that's not them, that's... Where have I left my parts that I was using? I bet I've just written over the top of them or something. Yep, I did. Insert areas, there they are. Silly old mate. Great clipping mask. There we go. So that goes onto there like that. And make these a bit darker if I want to, or lighter or whatever. Oops. Might make them a little bit darker. Like that. Then for the windows here, well, they're just going to be white. So make sure I've got the tool selected. And, ooh, not that one. Actually, white's too white. So let's see. Do I have any old dirty glass? No, so I'll just use grey. There we are. For the fiddly bits, well, it's grey again, isn't it? So, go here. And here. And yes, I could have made these one layer. No, I didn't. Why not? Well, because you might want to put different things in. I can change these later without too much of a bother, you see. Okay, and then the roof, which is the black bit. So I'm going to go over here to my rooftop. And basically our bitumen poured roof. There we go. Doesn't have to be greatly tidy, just so long as it works. And that's our basic piece of work done. So now we can go and basically just burn parts if we need to. There we go, and then go over here. And here. And again here. Okay, and then the bottom part, which is down here. Like that. Go to our windows. Let's do that. Okay, have a quick look at that. That's looking okay. I might just take a copy of our layer over here and just drop the opacity down a bit. Right down, like that. Just so I can get some additional parts in here, because I just want to get rid of these bits here and here. Go in there. Basically just adding a little bit of variation to this from last time, just using our UVW map to basically bring out some additional detailing for us and the effect of the brickwork that we otherwise would have to design ourselves. There we go. Like that. So I'll rename this now, and this will be line layer, which I had in caps by mistake, but you know, you can see what it's doing, and that's cool. Okay, Control S, and this will be tower top 2 base texture, and then it will be also tower top diffuse. Control Shift S, tower top 2 diffuse, like so, which I've completely not saved as a target and should have done. There we go. Now I can run endo. Still there. Presets. And this is stone wall. Could also have sharp brick. I've not tried the sharp brick yet. Oh, decisions. Decisions. Sharp brick, why not? Time for a glass of water. You can hear me slurping away. There we go. Nearly done. You think this kind of you think all the naming conventions and stuff's a little bit only retentive, but seriously, when we get to plopping this stuff in UDK, you're going to be really grateful that we have names for everything. There we go. That's nice, nice and sharp. Okay, so Control Shift S, Tower, top 2. Tower, top 2. Normal. Target. I'm not even going to bother messing around with it. I'm just going to convert it straight off to a specular and ambient. And then be patient while it does so. Remember, it'll create the displacement first and then basically destroy it. Nice. I like that. It's pretty. Nearly done. Here comes the ambient. Oh, there we go. Nice bit of ambient there. Let's have a look at the spec. Well, the spec's not bad either. It's only shiny enough. Okay, so I'm going to keep them as they are. And this is ambient. And then this is specular. And yes, we do have to create an awful lot of textures. There we go. Let's close these off. Fortunately, it's incredibly easy to recreate them should we need to. Let's fire up Dido. Busy pressing my glasses into my face at the moment. It's a tiny bit uncomfortable. Alright, here we go. Let's go to the auto hub, quick load our materials. Ambient, diffuse, normal and specular. Done. Change it from grey shades. Actually no, I want grey shades, don't I? What am I doing? I do like black and gold though. Grey shades. And take this to just general wear and stuff. Here we are, quick and dirty. It's much faster than the other one, which is cool because it means I don't have to pause, because the other one's got 255 operations compared to this one doing 45. Still a lot, don't get me wrong, but... And it hides it behind this big black thing, you know, rather than having like all the things going on the side. Done. Jesus. I just don't learn, do I? Wasting your time, aren't I? Get rid of these. That was the old map from last time again. On tower top 2. Ambient, diffuse, normal. Where's the specular? Where is the specular? Do not have specular. Gonna have to recreate it. Which means recreate the normal, so I'll just pause while I do. Right, that's been made, so I can now load up Dido again. Sorry about that. Give it a second to load up. Got to pause before loading that up actually. Okay, so I'm going to change the dirt. We want to basically just quick. There we go. Quick load it, and now I have, well, this is tower top 1, isn't it? It's about to fool me again. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we are. Just build it. And again, it won't take long. It really won't. Give it just a minute. Have a drink while it's doing it. Over halfway. 3/4, 9/10, done. We'll get an error message. It's finished. Now that isn't very good. I don't like that at all, in fact. So let's have a look at our materials that we have. So I'll just go over here and open these 4, which are our bases, and see what they look like. That's our specular, normal, diffuse, and ambient. The ambient's wrong, the ambient's the specular. That explains a lot. Alright then, let's fix the ambient. There we go, that's the ambient repaired. So Control-Shift-S. Wondered what happened to the specular. Now I know. Change it to Targa. Select that one and replace it. Okay, that would explain why it looks completely shit. And now I can close all these off, because that was just dreadful. Honestly, I was kind of ew, you know. Okay, now reload all these. And fire it off, and this time, again, less than 30 seconds, I'll hold my breath. Seems to be taking a bit longer this time than last time, doesn't it? Oh, there we go. See, I wouldn't have been able to do that if I still smoked. And still hideous. Still really hideous. I wonder if it's still got the old one loaded into memory, the old ambient. Let's find out. There, that's much, much better. I think you'll agree. What happened was that it hadn't loaded up the new DDO file. Now it has, thank goodness. So that makes things a lot easier. Not the new DDO file, the new ambient file. Here's the ambient here. See? So it was still loading up the specular as the ambient, which is what caused all those errors. So that looks, well, really nice. I like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell it to export everything, which it will immediately do, into the Tower Top 2 folder. And I will check that it's done that, just to be on the safe side. And just check the time of this. Yep, I think it has. Yep, there we go. It's exported them into a third folder, so I'll delete folders 1 and 2 because I don't need those. You see, what it will do is it will create a DDO folder like that every time that you run DDO for this texture. So there we go. Go over here. Remember, you can adjust everything as well. I like that. I don't really want to adjust it. So I'm going to do a Control-Shift-S and just save it out as well. And come down one. Call it Tower Top 2 DDO diffuse, just so I know what it is. And go to target. Okay, and that way I can just throw on my model in 3ds Max. There we go. Just go over here and bitmap. Make sure I'm in the right folder. You were just about to tell me there that I wasn't, weren't you? Okay, so Tower Top 2. And I've got all these here. That's my DDO diffuse. It's lovely, that. It really is. I'm very, very pleased with that indeed. Okay, cool. So, if I just go over now to my thing here, I can take my Tower Top 2 that I've been working on. Now I know what that was, and put Tower Roof 1 in place, because I know I'm working on that next. And Lower Tower. I wonder what Lower Tower was. I'll have a look at that soon as well. Okay, so till then,